What are we gonna do next? Another fun add-on to our projects. So, this little kit right here. If you don't have this little kit, I'm gonna show you what you're gonna need to do this cute little zipper pouch. Let's open our little zipper pouch kit and see what do we have in here. Actually, I'm gonna find out too. I don't remember what we have. This really fun piece of vintage wallpaper. You could use any sort of paper you would like. You might want it just a little heavier, because if you're using a zipper and you're opening and shutting it, you would hate to just have it rip. So we've got our wallpaper. I've got my cute little zipper. Oh, I did these tags when I was selling. Isn't that cute? Sorry. And I don't care that it's a little bigger, because I'm just going to cut it. So we've got our zipper. I threw this fun card in. I had all of these wonderful, it was a pastor from the 50s, and he had boxes and boxes of note cards of what he had written up for a sermon, so I've used those. And so everyone that has this is going to have one of these in there. And you can switch out for anything else you would like. The other thing I put in there is one of these fun blue squares, and I'm gonna make an extra pocket on the outside. Now, all the other embellishments, I can show you how I did these, but they're just pieces of fabric, washi tape, stickers, and I even took some of these fun stickers and added them on to some heavier paper to make little tags and cards and threw them in. So whatever you would like to put into your pocket, you can, but we are going to actually make the zipper pouch and this little pocket. So let's get started here. So the first thing, oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. You're going to want something fun for the inside. So when you open it, you see something inside. So if you were using a double-sided heavy cardstock, you wouldn't need to do this. But since we're using wallpaper, you just might. So I also have this brown sheet of paper, and we're just going to stamp this, and I am gonna put this in the inside of here. Okay, I think we're gonna use this fish. So I think the very first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna stamp this background, and we're gonna attach this inside of here, because I did find out that if you try to do it later, it's a little harder to get in. So I think we're just gonna use this crazy funky fish. And I am just gonna stamp this brown craft paper. Said you don't have to, you could actually just stamp it onto the back of your piece. You could add another piece of paper in. Sorry, there's a bump here. But I think I'm gonna put it on there and attach the brown paper inside, and it even gives me a tad bit more stability when I decide to put fun things in there. It would be fun. You could throw some pens, pencils, paintbrushes. You could put anything into that you would like. It might be a really fun pocket to put in the beginning of your journal, so you have all of your pieces you need, like a pen, maybe a baby watercolor kit, anything. See how cute that would be. Let's see what this crazy fish looks like. If I had the words, I'd write, "Go fish," and put a Go Fish card in here. Oh, how fun. Okay. So I'm gonna have to trim this just a tad bit. So on the back, I'm just gonna get it a little bit wet and squish it up a little. And when it's wet, it doesn't crack as easily when you squish it up a little. Take my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide and just over the top. There we go. Okay. I wanted it just a tad bit aged. Now, at this point, you could either decoupage or you can just double stick tape this in. I think I'm gonna go with the double stick tape. I'm just gonna dry this off just a tad bit. Get our double stick tape and put this in the inside of this piece of wallpaper. And after you see how I put it in, you can decide what sizes you would like to use, because it doesn't really matter how big or small, as long as your zipper fits. And even then, you don't have to have your zipper go all the way to the bottom. But you'll see when we start putting this together, and then you can use whatever size you would like. So I'm just gonna center this and just put this in the center. We'll be folding it up in just a few moments. Put it at the top. Put this at the top, put this in. So imagine this is gonna be in 3, not quite in 3, but imagine it as a trifold. And if you didn't know, double stick tape is very double stick tapey. And it sticks to everything. Okay, and I'm not worried that this is perfect. We got this in here. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is take my zipper off of that. So what I'm gonna want on here is I want a little bit of this opening up here, and I'm going to glue that down. And I'm gonna want this folded over. You want it close enough to the edge, but you do not want it infringing on your zipper. So I would guess I probably have maybe an 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch in between the end of this wallpaper and the actual little prongs on the zipper. So I'm gonna fold this edge down and do the same thing with this side. Fold that down. Now you can see on this one I actually sewed on my sewing machine. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you don't want to sew it, you can also just glue it. And I'm gonna show you how I'm doing that. The name of the company for this glue is Art Glitter Glue. It's supposed to be a really nice, strong glue, so I'm gonna try to use this. I am going to use this, and we're gonna glue this down. So what I'm gonna do is take this and just go along the edge of my wallpaper instead of the zipper. Make sure it's close, but not too close. We're gonna see if this glue has the power. You know, actually, I'm surprised. feels very nice and, okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. That's going to be perfect, as long as it holds. So I'm going to press this down, and I'm going to press this down. Okay, I'm going to add my bottom piece now. Now, if you wanted something really, really short, you could literally just fold this back, staple it, sew it, glue it. I thought it'd be fun to add a separate bottom, so I am using my fun cards. And I'm gonna have to trim it a bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to fold this. And let's see where I wanna fold it. I think I'm gonna fold it right here. And I know it kind of cracks a bit, but I don't care. And I'm gonna very carefully trim this. Do I have a stapler right? Oh, thank you. And just to be safe, I'm going to staple the very bottoms so it doesn't, do a couple staples in there so the zipper doesn't go past that, even though I'm covering it. This is very, very old paper, but I am still going to use this. And what I'm going to do is I may have to add something just because it completely broke, huh? You know what, I'm just gonna use this white washi tape just because it's so old and cracked. I just don't want my items to fall out of my zipper bag, and I really love using this. So you could use masking tape, you could add another piece of cardstock, you could add anything you want in here. This is just a neutral washi tape that you could stamp and use. So I'm just gonna put that inside, and it should give me the stability I need at the bottom. And once again, you can glue this, you can sew this, you could do whatever you would like. So I was gonna sew this, and if you want to sew your zipper on, what you're gonna need to do is before you put this bottom on, your zipper needs to be a tad bit longer. What I did is I zipped it all the way down, so you have two loose pieces. I sewed this onto one side, and then I sewed that onto the other side. Then I zipped it all the way up, and you ended up with that. And then I just folded this over and just sewed across the bottom edge. I end up losing some room for my pocket because I decided to sew all the way around the outside perimeter also. But all of that is optional depending on what you want to do. Okay, so you can see on this one I did sew across here. Well, so for this one, we're just gonna glue it. So once again, we're gonna glue, but you can add and attach things any way you would like and whatever works best for you and what you have. And I am And just to be safe, I am just gonna glue right across the bottom of that. And actually, that glue is just for this project, so. So I'm just gonna let this set, I'm gonna trim the excess, and we're gonna add our pocket. And just to be a little more secure, I think we're gonna add a couple staples to the side, but you could even use colored staples. Or if you haven't ever done it, just pull your stapler open, use a colored Sharpie or a marker, color the top of your staples, and you have colored staples. So you can make that really fun on your page too. Okay, so while this is getting all set, let's work on our fun little pocket. And I think he's gonna go down here. So I am gonna put him, I'm gonna put him up at the top, and this will make sense in a moment. So you can either double stick tape, you can decoupage, and I may just decoupage this on here. This little tissue paper, if I use a heavy glue, it's gonna be a little bit of overkill on this thin tissue paper, and it may wanna rip. Actually, it is a rice paper, but it still may wanna rip if see how careful I'm being with this, huh? So meticulous. I'm gonna put it at the top edge, about centered. I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna very quickly just clip my corners. Just these two at the bottom. We're going to fold these back, and I'm sure you can see how my pocket is coming together. A little bit of excess here I'll take off. And then we're going to glue it to the front of our little pocket right there. So let's get our glue again. Just putting on the outside edges here. And then you can add this anywhere you would like. I'm going to add it at the bottom so I have room to add tall stuff if I would like. Hold this down. Now see, wouldn't this little butterfly be cute on the front of there, or a little tab coming out? So let's just finish the rest of this end. So what we're going to do with these, you could fold them forward, glue them down. You could just fold it back and glue it down. You could just trim it right off. So whatever you would like to do. I think for right now, since the zipper isn't going that high, I am just going to zip this down a bit. Half, and now we are all set. I am going to trim the top edge of this. You can tell when I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Whoops. Okay, you know what? That's gonna be good enough there. So after we've got it all done, you've got this cute little pocket. You can fill it full of all of these fun little goodies and other things. You could add some fun stamps. I mean, it's just limitless. You could add words, you could put whatever you want. You could put this in the front of your journal and put all your pencils and pens. And you have your cute little fish in here. You never know when you might need an extra fish. But I thought this was a fun project. You can still add more sari silk, do hand sewing, stapling, whatever you would like. Hope you guys thought this was a fun project. Hope you give it a try, but whatever you do, have fun.